Welcome back to Under Oath. Actors are afraid of AI. Writers are afraid of AI. Criminals now afraid of AI.
Well, it turns out everybody should be damn afraid of AI.
Facial recognition. Facial recognition software has been around a long time. The only problem is now it's being used to supposedly be perfect. Well, it can't be because it very rarely is. And the situation is we had somebody who was out there using fake credit cards, and he's putting the stuff through, and they have a film, and they put the film through facial recognition, and they pull out a guy's name. Basically, Randall Reed. Now, there are probably 3 or 4 of these guys. So they arrest Randall Reed. The only problem is Randall Reed isn't the guy in the video. The AI was off. He winds up doing 7 days.
That's false imprisonment. That is the absolute antithesis of the American idea of justice. That this is the most awful story of all the stories we have talked about. This is the worst. This guy held in jail 7 days. There's no such thing as justice for this guy, Randall Reed. There's no such thing.
Normally I would agree with you. I'm calling malarkey.
Why are you calling malarkey?
Because is AI less dependable than an eyewitness saying this guy did it? And we know how many times that hasn't worked out. Where they get pictures, they go, which one is it? Oh, it's this one.
No,
and you're relying on a human being who has natural prejudices and everything else, and they screw it up all the time. And people get arrested.
And you know that they screw it up all the time. So when you have an eyewitness that says that's the guy, you don't necessarily know that's the guy.
Well, they're arresting
him. When AI says that's the guy, you don't even question it.
They're arresting him every time.
That's definitely the guy. No reason to even think anything else.
I would trust an AI over you.
Well, really? Because you have evidence that AI doesn't work.
It makes mistakes. But I know that regular witnesses do it all the time. They're wrong.
So AI is no more reliable.
I think it's more reliable
than a witness. Obviously not, Jeff.
It makes mistakes, but maybe not on the same level.
You can't make a mistake on this.
They make mistakes.
You're not allowed to make mistakes like this.
Every time.
No, absolutely not.
All the time they make mistakes.
No, junk the whole thing.
Oh, junk
the whole thing.
What about
no
regular people making decisions?
Yes.
So everybody, there's no eyewitnesses.
Back to the way it was before Terminator, before RoboCop shows up and executes this guy for having the wrong kind of face.
Remember this one? How many fingers do I have? Remember my cousin Vinny? How many fingers do I have up here? And then I got to rely on somebody's eyesight?
I cannot believe this.
I don't know. It happens all the time, but not on the level this. I guarantee this is not normal. While regular eyewitnesses
This can't ever happen, though.
It's going to happen.
It can't ever happen.
Fingerprints are not perfect. DNA, not perfect.
But we know that. We know that we're operating in an imperfect system.
This isn't a perfect system.
The officers, the police, they take this AI recognition as the gospel.
DUI testing. How many times did the one machine find so many people wrong?
Right. And we know the machine's not infallible.
After thousands of people are prosecuted.
We treat AI like it's infallible.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
We arrest people and put them in jail for 6 days, even though it's obviously not the person who
it happens all the
arrest
time.
warrants
But
for.
it happens normally not using AI. That's what I'm saying. I don't think this is as prevalent as we think it is.
This guy would have never been arrested but for AI.
Oh, you don't think if somebody looked at that looks like Tyrone on the video.
This guy would have never been arrested but
Alan.
for AI.
More people get arrested by false IDs than this.
Maybe in their community by somebody making a wrong description or identifying somebody incorrectly.
You think the AI is racist?
This guy's in like 5 states away from Louisiana.
Do you think the AI is racist?
I don't know how.
Do you think the AI has a motive to lie?
No, in order to have a motive, you'd have to have a conscience.
So you have all
So there's no conscious.
Exactly. So it just is taking the scientific data and doing its best rather than a person who I got to worry about their eyesight from 50 yards. What are these things? Bushes. My cousin Benny was perfect when it comes to that stuff.
This is absolutely terrible.
I don't think it's terrible.
We need to junk the whole program.
You're not junking anything. You know how many people probably been caught, terrorists and everything else, because of great facial. You know, when I'm in the airport,
it is one thing to stop terrorists from entering the country or from bombing people. It's another to arrest American citizens
for stealing.
Those are two different, very, very different things.
What about murder?
What about it?
Is murder a level that we should arrest people for facial recognition?
No, obviously not. Obviously not.
Have you ever gone through facial recognition? Have you ever seen how good it is?
No.
I've gone through global entry. It's dead on. It recognizes less fat face. It recognizes the hair. Perfect. Eyes, foof. I have the clear. 2 seconds, boom, my picture pops up. I'm telling you, it's a lot better than a human being going, oh, I think I remember Jeff. That's the one thing about it is it's fallible, but it's not fallible because of natural problems. It's fallible because of maybe a code issue or something else like that. But it's not fallible because my eyes got worse or because I think every black person looks the same or every white person looks the same.
Yeah, well, who do I sue? Because when somebody says that I committed a crime in Louisiana and I was actually in New York at the time the crime was committed, I can sue the person who lies, right?
Oh, really? You're going to sue the person who's got no money? You're suing the police department. We know that.
Sure, whatever.
You sue the police department. Same person.
But AI is the cutting edge technology. You can't get any better than that. You just told me. There's nothing to sue on.
Sure, I can.
Why? You just said it's the ultimate.
There's a flaw in the system, so I can sue based on the flaw. There's negligence in the system somehow.
Negligence means you act unreasonably. You're telling me there's no way to be unreasonable using AI because it's so perfect.
I'm not saying it's unreasonable.
You just went through the anecdotes.
No, I didn't. Product
liability
liability
gets me every time.
Product liability. There's a lot of issues involved here. See, I got no problem with this. Now, what I do have a problem with this is maybe there needs to be some other system in there. They go, hey, we pulled this guy's picture up that not only does AI, but maybe a regular person has to compare the pictures. We have people's driver's licenses on file. We can look at a driver's license, compare it to a video.
Man, I don't know. I see some people's Facebook profiles. I know that's not them.
Well, that's different. Yeah, I noticed that the other day. I was looking on. You
have no idea how somebody looks by just looking at their Facebook profile.
I can't trust a filter, but you could see a filter normally. You could tell, bad enough. We used to have to deal with the duck face. Now we got to deal with a filter.
You know a filter's being used, but you don't know what the person actually looks like.
Well, then I know I'm being lied to already, so I can't trust it.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying.
I would actually love a world where we didn't have to judge people based on looks. It'd be nice.
What world is that?
I don't know. Maybe we can just talk to people and have coffee and not care. I think the problem comes when we have physical confrontation, physical interactions with people. I think that's where we need the looks.
Yeah. So we should all just be on the web, virtual world. No one leaves their house.
Maybe nobody punches anybody anymore.
So I'm just creating an avatar.
Sure.
This is what I want
you would love
to look
that.
like.
You would love that.
This is what I want to look like.
The Craig door, with a big sword walking through the internet. You would love that, man.
And then everybody would just make these ideal versions of what they are.
Now
nobody would look like it.
AI can be scary because it does.
Yeah, it can cause you to get arrested and put in jail for 6 days.
But not on the level that we're thinking about.
Done.
I can tell you what scares me more is people's reliance in our world on it. That soon there's going to be no creativity. I've seen this happen where guy wrote a song, guy writes a book, guy does this. There's actually a lawsuit right now dealing with the guy who did Games of Thrones. The guy can't finish his books. And screw you, sue me. You suck. Okay? There's so many people want this guy's book done. He's too busy. What are you busy?
I like Game of Thrones. Whoever's writing Game of Thrones, please keep it up.
He's not doing it. That's why. He can't keep it up. He won't finish the books. So this guy went online. He goes, let me see if an AI can finish it. And it did. It wrote the 2 final books. And the truth is, they're good books.
Are they good?
So he's suing. Now everyone.
Who's suing?
The writer.
The original writer?
Yes. He's the chunky dude. He looks like the guy from Mad Max.
But you're using my characters that I created. Like he created all those characters.
I get it.
I created the world. I created the characters. I created the conflict.
But what is fan fiction? Fan fiction is the same thing. And you don't sue people for fan fiction. Well, he's not selling it.
That's what's. What do you mean he's not selling it?
He's not. The guy who actually got the 2 books, he's not selling it. He had the AI do it.
Oh, well, then what's the problem?
Well, the problem is he's going,
so he just wrote his own ending to this guy's unfinished work. So what?
Well, he's suing the AI companies who did it.
Well, on what theory?
He says because they took his, a lot of artists and everything else are claiming they have rights to their style. You have style rights. You write or draw on my style. And the AI can automatically figure out who you are and write in the style. Like I said, I want you to write in the style of Stephen King, a book about a monkey and a bear getting chased by a car. and it'll keep writing until you tell it to stop.
Is it Stephen King style, or is it a style that was popularized by Stephen King? I don't think Stephen
Okay.
King's style is unique to him.
Okay,
I
why?
think a lot of
It is.
people
It is.
write like him.
Everyone writes a certain way. There's a feeling about it. For example, when he wrote the Bachman
Impossible.
books, it was
No,
like,
no,
but what they
that's
do
not
is this: they put all of his books, and the AI reads
That
all
can't
of
be
the
true.
books.
There's too many people on
It
the
is.
planet, Jeff. No way. No way nobody else writes exactly
Well, I'm
like
not
Stephen
saying
King.
perfect, but people who have brain issues, you'd have to find somebody with the exact brain issue. Like I'm certain there's somebody who talks like me in the world, but you haven't met him yet.
I think one's enough.